Hey everyone, you got Anderson here, one of the co-founders of Quanto, and we're back with our ChatGPT series, but this one's a bit shorter, but quite important, and it's on data controls. And so what does data controls really mean? It's around making sure that your firm information and your client information aren't being sent back into OpenAI to be able to be trained on their models. So that might be a lot, and let me show you a quick example. I'm going to go into ChatGPT and say, hi, my name is Anderson, and I have a deep fear of clowns. So this isn't as confidential as, say, a client's financial information, but it's probably something I still don't want the rest of the world to know and query about me. But what's interesting is even though I've shared this into ChatGPT, I can click new chat here and say something like, what is Anderson scared of? And here it kind of has a blocker where it says that's a little bit too personal. I can't have access to Anderson's private feelings or fears. And all I'm doing is showing with this is there's a kind of a setting within ChatGPT that prevents personal identifying information to be able to be queried like I just did. So even if historically you haven't turned on this toggle, which I'll show you how to do, just be aware that whatever you're using ChatGPT for, it's not going to be able to be surfaced by someone else. But still, there's a huge risk of it being trained into the model and just giving OpenAI that access. And so I'm going to show you here going into something called your data control. So I'm kind of hovering over here, Anderson Peter George. You can see I'm using our Quanto Labs. It might just have your name here if you're using a free account or a pro account. And I'm going to go over to the settings. So once you're here in the settings, we'll do a separate video going through all of these in depth, but what you're going to mainly focus on here is data controls. And here you can see right now we've had this turned off, but you can go in here and just make sure that you want the improve the model for everyone to be turned off. And although it sounds like a great thing for the model to be improved for everyone, it's actually using your firm data and your client data to do this. So we want to make sure that we have that turned off. And then that way, anything that you put into it isn't being trained into the model. And so that's the one thing we recommend everyone across their ChatGPT subscription to do. That way you can ensure that when going back to your client, then you could say that nothing's being sent back to OpenAI for it to be trained on their models. Reach out if you have any questions. Happy to dive deeper into here and do a walk by walk to show you how you can turn that off. See you on the next one.